The scene opens with the revelation that 1 year ago, millions of people were transformed into werewolves following the emergence of the supermoon eclipse, an event that continues to baffle scientists worldwide as its cause remains unknown. However, precisely tomorrow night, the supermoon eclipse is set to reappear, prompting Dr. Aranda to urge the public to stay indoors and arm themselves. The narrative then shifts to a home where the occupants are solemnly commemorating the 1-year anniversary of the death of Emma's father, who was also Lucy's husband, a tragic victim of a werewolf attack.
We love you, Dad.
As a former soldier, Wesley employs his expertise to fortify the home's defenses by strategically installing numerous traps. He undertakes this measure solely to protect his beloved sister, Lucy, and his cherished niece, Emma. Amid the panicked preparations of the community, the sound of a barrage of weapons suddenly emanates from one of the neighbors, Cody.
Cody!
Concerned that Cody's actions might endanger everyone, Wesley orders him to cease his firing. However, his warning is disregarded. In the midst of the tension, another of Lucy's neighbors, Reagan, offers snacks for the following day. And after a while, Lucy reciprocates by handing her a can of pepper spray. At this juncture, Wesley reminds Lucy that once night falls, she must remain completely silent, since any noise could alert the werewolves and mark her as a target. Although it pains him to leave them behind tonight, Wesley, who holds a leadership role at his organization, must depart to meet with the scientists who are prepared to conduct a critical experiment involving a new formula. In short, Dr. Aranda, alongside Wesley and biology experts Dr. Amy and Evan, holds a press conference to announce that tonight they will attempt to suppress the DNA mutation with a formula called moonscreen that they have developed. Their hope is that no human will undergo mutation when the full moon rises.
Good luck tonight.
And Godspeed.
In the laboratory, several prepared volunteers enter iron cages for the experiment.
It's tonight. Remember, it is my choice.
Although it is difficult for her to let her beloved Miles undergo the trial, Amy remains strong. Her friend reassures her that Miles will be fine. After donning their protective gear, Wesley and his colleagues begin the experiment. They not only drip the moonscreen liquid into their eyes, but also have it vaporized over their entire bodies to provide a secondary layer of protection. However, when the hatch is opened, a terrified woman pleads to be released, crying.
God, please, don't do this to me!
After several minutes pass with no apparent reaction from the moonlight exposure, the team believes the formula has succeeded. To confirm its efficacy, Dr. Aranda proceeds downstairs to analyze the blood sample from the werewolf subject.
This fucking works. I need you to analyze those blood samples for Mechanis lupus.
It soon becomes evident that the protective effects of the formula last for only 1 hour, and the volunteers begin to exhibit early signs of mutation.
Subject 3 is hurting.
Moonscreen stability at 1 hour.
In the ensuing chaos, the protective canopy malfunctions, and simultaneously Dr. Aranda is struck by a sudden impact that causes his clothing to become dislodged. Realizing that he is beginning to transform, Wesley orders Evan to fetch a sedative. However, unfortunately, Dr. Aranda, who had momentarily paused his transformation, abruptly resumes and viciously scratches Evan's abdomen.
Everyone get to an exit!
As the situation spirals out of control, the mutated volunteers start taking down the soldiers one by one. During their escape, they encounter Dr. Amy, who soon finds herself being pursued by werewolves. Fortunately, she manages to secure refuge behind a steel door, although Evan is not so lucky. He succumbs to significant blood loss and collapses. Observing the werewolves scattered in the trees, Cody, who had meticulously prepared for battle, summons the courage to fire his weapon enhanced with the moonscreen formula. His efforts are still not enough, and he is immediately attacked by one of the werewolves. As a result, Cody is exposed to the moonlight. Meanwhile, at her home, Reagan senses that something is wrong. Back to Wesley and Amy, who are preparing themselves and applying the formula. After setting a 1-hour reminder alarm, the group hastily escapes in a car. During the journey, Wesley contacts Lucy, who is now terrified after witnessing Cody being attacked. Dr. Amy advises that they avoid drawing any attention, but soon she notices on a monitor that Reagan is pleading for someone to open a door.
Please, Mrs. Marshall!
Don't answer it, okay?
Due to Lucy's oversight, Wesley ends up colliding with a bus. Upon examining the chest protection of the individual who attacked Reagan, they realize that it was in fact Werewolf Cody. Meanwhile, Lucy, monitoring the situation via CCTV, inadvertently sprays pepper spray into his eyes, thereby attracting even more werewolves. Amid the escalating chaos, Wesley and Dr. Amy continue their journey on foot, determined to rescue Lucy. However, they soon see several werewolves rampaging in the middle of the road. Terrified by the ferocity of these creatures, they slowly take cover beneath a car. Unfortunately, the reminder alarm sounds at the worst possible moment, and they immediately flee for safety.
Wes?
At that very moment, a child begins chasing after them. It turns out that this area is occupied by several groups who suddenly order Amy and Wesley to leave. However, since Wesley explains that he needs to meet with his family and only intends to use the tunnel, they allow him to pass.
There was an accident at the lab.
Once inside the building's tunnel, they hastily search for an exit. They come upon a locked barred door, and as they attempt to shoot the lock off, a werewolf suddenly appears from behind. Fortunately, Wesley manages to subdue the creature, and as he is about to lead them out, he remembers that they must reapply the formula liquid. However, due to the high temperature of the formula, it cannot be used at that moment, so they must allow it to cool down. Upon arriving at a convenience store, Wesley places the formula in a refrigerator and waits for a few moments. Meanwhile, at Lucy's location, Werewolf Cody attempts to batter the electrified fence. Not giving up, he knocks down a support pole, which immediately causes the power to fail. Realizing that her home is now unprotected, Lucy activates the emergency lights and grabs her shotgun to defend herself. On the other hand, Wesley, struggling to make his way home, notices a group of heavily armed individuals firing at the werewolves. Hoping to be escorted to Lucy's house, he instead finds himself drawn in the opposite direction.
We're not turning, look. We're protecting shit, man.
Unfortunately, those who are caught off guard soon suffer a counterattack by the werewolves. After everything has fallen into chaos, Amy devises a desperate idea to escape the area.
Hey, you forgot one!
Bite me!
However, just as she is about to get into the car, something unexpected occurs. Meanwhile, Lucy's home is besieged by werewolves attacking from every side, and she fires in all directions in an attempt to drive them off. Unfortunately, she has only 4 rounds remaining, and with no additional ammunition available, she is forced to resort to using a knife and pepper spray. In her panic, Lucy's courage falters as the werewolves storm into her house. The sound of Wesley's car horn, arriving just in time, distracts the attackers, shifting their focus onto him instead. At the same time, one werewolf manages to break into the house, forcing Lucy and Emma to hide in a closet. When that werewolf attempts to attack Emma, Lucy quickly rises and manages to fend it off. Wesley, having just stepped out of the car, is relieved to see that they are safe. Yet it isn't long before werewolf Cody re-emerges. With the ammunition Lucy had already expended, Wesley finds himself at a loss for how to combat Cody. Then suddenly, Wesley conceives a daring idea to rescue them. After bidding his farewells, he leaves the house to prepare himself to transform into a werewolf, a risky move that could also endanger Lucy and Emma. Witnessing werewolf Wesley take down Cody, Lucy panics and quickly hides her child. In the midst of the turmoil, Lucy inadvertently discovers one remaining bullet that she can use. As werewolf Wesley begins advancing into the area, Lucy, not wanting to hurt him, tries to reason with him by showing a family photograph. However, nothing can be done. The DNA mutation has taken full effect. Just after dawn, Lucy breaks through a wall, allowing the morning light to flood in. And at the same moment, Wesley reverts to his human form. And with that, the film ends. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Because by subscribing, you have supported me to make better videos. See you in the next video.